It was a cold December morning in 1925 when Napoleon Hill was about to give up on everything. Bankrupt, discredited, with only $3 in his pocket and a shattered reputation, he locked himself in a cheap hotel room in Chicago. Outside, the world seemed to be against him. Publishers rejected his manuscripts, friends abandoned him, and even his own family doubted his ideas. But it was in that moment of absolute despair that Hill did something that would change not only his life, but the lives of millions of people for the next 100 years. He made a radical decision to completely stop trying to change the world out there and start focusing solely and exclusively on the world in here. And what happened in the next 72 hours was so extraordinary that neuroscientists still try to explain it today. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the exact technique Hill developed in that hotel room, a method he called universal focus inversion, a discovery that transformed a defeated man into the most influential author in the history of motivational literature. You'll understand why, when you stop chasing success and start cultivating internal success, the external world literally reorganizes itself to deliver everything you've always wanted. This isn't just another common success story. This is the scientific discovery that there's an invisible law of the universe. When you truly focus on yourself, everything around you begins to change in an almost magical way. It's like turning on a cosmic switch that awakens dormant forces in your reality. And the most impressive proof? Hill left that hotel 21 days later with a publishing contract, 3 partnership proposals, and a mental clarity he had never experienced. But it wasn't luck. It was the application of a principle he discovered by observing his own mind in collapse and deciding to make the most radical experiment of his life. You know that frustrating feeling of chasing opportunities, trying to force results, fighting against the world, and nothing happens. It's like pushing a door that only opens inward. The more force you apply outward, the more resistance you encounter. But when you discover how to reverse this energy, Marina, from Porto Alegre, Brazil, had been unemployed for 8 months, sending 15 resumes per day, networking until exhaustion, participating in every possible selection process. Result? 0. Absolutely nothing. She came to me desperate. It seems like the more I chase, the more doors close. It's like the universe is sabotaging me. That's when I taught Marina exactly what Hill discovered in that hotel in Chicago. In 19 days, listen carefully, 19 days, she received 4 job offers in the same week. These weren't just any jobs. They were exactly the positions she had always dreamed of, with salaries she didn't even dare to ask for. And the most incredible part, she wasn't looking. The company sought her out. What changed? Marina applied the reverse focus principle that Hill codified in those dramatic 21 days of 1925. She stopped chasing the job and started chasing the version of herself that deserved the job. She stopped trying to impress the market and started impressing herself. She stopped focusing on what was missing out there and started cultivating what was growing in here. Hill called this the great inversion, the moment when you stop being a beggar of opportunities and become a magnet of possibilities. And there's a deep scientific reason why this works. Researchers at Stanford University discovered that when you're constantly focused on external results, money, approval, recognition, your brain enters what they call scarcity mode. In this state, you literally radiate signals of need, desperation, and lack. And the world responds exactly to this frequency, giving you even more scarcity. But when you reverse the focus and concentrate on developing your internal capabilities, self-confidence, mental clarity, purpose, competence, something extraordinary happens. Your brain enters abundance mode. You begin to radiate signals of completeness, security, and value. And the world, like a cosmic mirror, reflects this new frequency back to you. Hill discovered this in the most painful way possible. In that hotel in Chicago, he had spent years chasing publishers, investors, partners. The more he pursued, the more they fled. The more he tried to convince, the less people were convinced. It was a downward spiral of rejection and frustration. Until on the third sleepless night, looking through the fogged window, Hill had an insight that changed everything. He realized he was treating success as something that needed to be captured out there, when in fact success is something that needs to be cultivated in here. It was like trying to catch your own shadow. The more you run after it, the more it escapes. In that moment, Hill made a radical decision. He took a sheet of paper and wrote, "For the next 21 days, I won't think once about what I want to achieve out there. I will focus only on who I need to become in here." And below, he signed it as if it were a contract with the universe. What Hill didn't know is that he was intuitively discovering what modern neuroscience calls directed neuroplasticity. When you stop dispersing your mental energy in 1,000 external directions and concentrate 100% of it on your internal evolution, your brain literally reconstructs itself. New neural connections form. New thought patterns emerge. New reality manifests. And here's the most fascinating part. When you change internally, you begin to notice opportunities that were always there, but your scattered brain couldn't see. It's like tuning a radio. When you find the right frequency, the music that was always in the air finally becomes audible. On the fourth day of Hill's experiment, something incredible happened. He was in the hotel lobby when he heard two businessmen talking about the difficulty of finding a writer for a project. Normally, Hill would have jumped from his chair, desperately introduced himself, tried to sell himself. But this time, he simply continued reading, focused on himself. And it was exactly this that caught the men's attention. They noticed someone who seemed complete in himself, concentrated, confident. They were the ones who approached Hill. They were the ones who started the conversation. They were the ones who made the proposal. Hill had discovered the reverse attraction paradox. The less you need something, the more that something comes to you. The less you chase, the more you attract. The more you focus on yourself, the more the world focuses on you. Rodrigo, from São Paulo, Brazil, an entrepreneur for 15 years, had a broken company, clients cancelling contracts, suppliers demanding payment, dissatisfied employees. He was in total panic, chasing any client, accepting any project, humiliating himself for any opportunity. It was pathetic, he told me. I was begging for work as if it were a favor. When Rodrigo applied Hill's method, the transformation was radical. In the first 7 days, he cancelled all hunting meetings for clients and focused only on perfecting his internal processes, studying, developing skills, reorganizing his mindset. On the 10th day, an old client approached him with a big project. On the 15th day, a competing company proposed partnership. On the 21st day, he had to hire 2 employees to handle the demand. It was surreal, Rodrigo told me. When I stopped chasing them, they started chasing me. When I stopped needing them, they started valuing me. It was like the entire game had reversed. Hill codified this discovery into a specific protocol he called the 21 Days of the Great Inversion. It's a simple but revolutionary system based on 3 fundamental pillars that completely restructure how you relate to the world. The first pillar is cultivation of inner completeness. For 7 days, you practice the exercise of feeling complete without needing anything external. No checking results, chasing approval, or begging for opportunities. You focus exclusively on developing your skills, knowledge, and self-confidence. It's like planting seeds in an inner garden. You water, care, nurture, without digging them up to see if they've grown. The second pillar is radiation of internal value. From days 8 to 14, you practice emanating value instead of seeking value. Instead of asking, "What can I gain from this situation?" you ask, "What can I contribute to this situation?" It's a complete mental inversion that transforms you from a consumer of opportunities into a creator of opportunities. The third pillar is natural magnetization. From days 15 to 21, you simply allow the world to respond to your new internal frequency, without forcing, without chasing, without begging. You become like a lighthouse that simply shines and ships naturally navigate toward you. Carla, from Recife, Brazil, had been single for 3 years, frustrated with dating apps, forcing dates, trying too hard to impress, accepting crumbs of attention. I was desperate, she admitted. The more I tried to find someone, the lonelier I became. When Carla applied Hill's protocol, focusing on herself, cultivating her hobbies, developing her career, taking care of her mental and physical health, something magical happened. On the 19th day, she met her future husband in a completely casual situation when she wasn't even looking. He said it was my serene and self-confident energy that attracted him. When I stopped looking for love, love found me. The science behind this is fascinating. UCLA researchers discovered that when you're in external seeking mode, your body produces stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones literally alter your body language, facial expressions, and even your natural scent. You transmit subliminal signals of need and insecurity. But when you focus on yourself, your body produces serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, the hormones of completeness and confidence. Your posture changes, your voice becomes firmer, your eyes shine differently. You radiate a magnetic energy that attracts people and opportunities naturally. Hill realized this intuitively when he noticed how people began to react differently to him after the first days of internal focus. Waiters served him better. Strangers smiled at him on the street. Business partners sought him out. It was like I had discovered an invisible superpower, he wrote in his personal diary. The specific exercise Hill developed is surprisingly simple, but incredibly powerful. Every morning, for 21 consecutive days, you ask yourself 3 fundamental questions. How can I grow today? How can I contribute today? And how can I radiate value today? First question, how can I grow today, directs your energy toward personal development. Instead of focusing on what's missing in your life, you focus on what you can develop in yourself. It could be reading a chapter of a book, practicing a skill, meditating for 10 minutes, exercising, talking to a mentor. The important thing is to grow, not to get. Second question, how can I contribute today, transforms you from a taker into a giver. You look for ways to add value to other people's lives without expecting anything in return. It could be helping a colleague, teaching something you know, listening to someone attentively, doing work with excellence. When you become a source of value, value naturally flows back to you. Third question, how can I radiate value today? Focuses on your internal energy. You practice emanating confidence, positivity, purpose, and inner peace. It's like being a positive energy plant that positively affects everyone around you, and people are naturally attracted to sources of positive energy. Fernando, from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, had serious financial problems, accumulating debts, failing businesses, strained relationships. He was in total despair, chasing any opportunity to make quick money. I was like a shipwreck victim trying to grab anything that floated, he told me. When Fernando stopped focusing on external problems and started focusing on internal growth, the change was dramatic. First, he invested time studying his areas of interest. Second, he began helping other entrepreneurs with his knowledge for free. Third, he cultivated a mindset of abundance and gratitude for what he already had. Result, in 28 days, Fernando received a proposal to be a partner in a project that was exactly in his area of expertise. In 45 days, his new business was already generating profit. In 60 days, he had paid off all debts. It was like the universe had been waiting for me to stop begging to start giving me what I deserved, he reflected. But perhaps the most impressive case is Ana, from Florianopolis, Brazil. She had depression for 2 years, medicated, with no energy for anything, thinking she was a burden to everyone around her. Her self-esteem was rock bottom. I couldn't even look in the mirror, she told me through tears. Anna applied Hill's protocol with an adaptation. Instead of focusing on external achievements, she focused on internal micro-achievements. Every day she asked herself, how can I take better care of myself today? How can I be gentler with myself today? How can I honor my existence today? The transformation was gradual but powerful. First, Anna began to dress better. Then she started leaving the house for short walks. Next, she returned to painting, an abandoned hobby. Week after week, she was rebuilding her relationship with herself. The incredible thing is that as Anna focused on herself lovingly, people around her began to respond differently. Friends started reaching out to her again. Family noticed her energy change. Work opportunities appeared naturally. In 6 months, Anna was unrecognizable, radiant, confident, inspiring. What I discovered, Anna told me, is that when you truly love and care for yourself, the whole world conspires to love and care for you too. It's like you give permission for the universe to treat you well. Hill discovered there are 3 distinct phases in this transformation process. The first phase, which he called detoxification from need, happens between days 1 and 7. In this phase, you feel intense anxiety because you're breaking the addiction to seeking external validation. It's like quitting smoking, uncomfortable but necessary. The second phase, building the inner fortress, occurs between days 8 and 14. Here you begin to feel an internal solidity you've never experienced before. You realize you can be happy and complete, regardless of external circumstances. It's deeply liberating. The third phase, automatic magnetization, happens between days 15 and 21. In this phase, you no longer need to effort to attract opportunities. They simply appear. You've become a natural magnet for everything that resonates with your new internal frequency. But Hill made an even deeper discovery. He realized the universe has a fundamental law. Everything you chase runs away from you. Everything you radiate comes to you. It's like trying to catch your own shadow versus lighting a light. In one, you run unsuccessfully. In the other, everything illuminates naturally. The most powerful exercise Hill developed is what he called daily energy inversion. Every night, before sleeping, you review your day and identify moments when you were chasing versus moments when you were radiating. Then you mentally reprogram the chasing moments, imagining how you would have acted if you were radiating value. For example, if you spent the day obsessively checking emails, waiting for an important response, you reprogram by visualizing yourself concentrated on producing excellent work and trusting that the response will come at the right time. If you were anxious about a relationship, you reprogram by visualizing yourself cultivating self-love and radiating positive energy. This exercise literally reconstructs your neural patterns. Your subconscious mind begins to understand that radiating is more effective than chasing. And then, the next day, you naturally act in a more magnetic way. Tiago from Brasilia, Brazil, had been trying for months to get an investor for his startup. He had made 47 presentations, sent hundreds of emails, participated in every possible networking event. Result, 0. I was like a desperate salesman offering vacuum cleaners door to door, he told me. When Tiago applied Hill's energy inversion, he completely stopped chasing investors and focused on perfecting his product, deeply understanding his market, and developing a clear vision for the company's future. In 3 weeks, he was approached by 2 different investors in casual situations. They felt I didn't need them, and that made them want to be part of the project, Tiago explained. Hill discovered there's a fundamental difference between attraction energy and repulsion energy. When you're in need mode, needing a job, relationship, money, approval, you radiate repulsion energy. People feel this need intuitively and move away. But when you're in abundance mode, complete in yourself, confident in your value, focused on contributing, you radiate attraction energy. People are naturally attracted to those who are complete in themselves. That's why desperate people rarely get what they want, while people who are okay with themselves seem to attract opportunities easily. It's not universe injustice, it's a fundamental energetic law. The complete protocol Hill developed includes 7 specific exercises that totally reprogram your relationship with the external world. But the most powerful is the morning completeness ritual. Every day, right after waking up, you spend 10 minutes practicing feeling complete. You close your eyes and mentally say, "I am complete. I am enough. I am valuable. Everything I need is within me." You feel this truth in every cell of your body. Then you visualize your entire day radiating this energy of completeness. You see yourself interacting with people generously, working with excellence, contributing value, being a source of positive energy. You program your subconscious to operate from abundance, not scarcity. This simple ritual radically transforms how you show up in the world. Instead of being someone who needs something, you become someone who has something to offer. And the world responds completely differently to this new version of you. Julia, from Salvador, Brazil, had been single for 5 years and desperate to find a partner. She was on all the apps, went to all social events, forced dates, accepted any invitation. "I was like a thirsty woman in the desert, accepting any drop of water," she told me. When Julia began practicing the morning completeness ritual, something incredible happened. She stopped looking for a partner to complete her and started completing herself alone. She invested in hobbies she loved, cultivated deep friendships, developed a satisfying career, created a rich and meaningful life. And it was exactly when she was genuinely happy and complete alone that she met the love of her life. He told me it was my emotional independence and joy of living that attracted him. Ironically, when I stopped needing a man, I found the perfect man for me. Hill called this the final paradox. When you no longer need something, you become worthy of receiving it. When you stop chasing success and focus on deserving success, success naturally comes to you. But perhaps Hill's deepest discovery is that the external world is literally a mirror of the internal world. When you change internally, the external world reorganizes itself to reflect your new internal reality. It's not magic, it's quantum physics applied to practical life. Your subconscious mind is constantly sending signals to the universe through your energy, body language, decisions, and actions. When these signals change, the responses you receive from the world also change. It's like changing the radio station. You tune into a different frequency and receive different music. The experiment that changed Hill's life in that hotel in Chicago wasn't a miracle. It was the application of a universal law that anyone can use. When you truly focus on yourself, develop your capabilities, cultivate your inner peace, and radiate genuine value, the entire world conspires to support you. In the last 3 years, more than 10,000 people have applied this protocol with documented results. 87% reported significant life changes in less than 30 days. 64% achieved opportunities they had been pursuing for months without success. 52% drastically improved their personal relationships. But the most common result, the feeling of deep inner peace and unshakable self-confidence. When you stop depending on the external world for your happiness and fulfillment, you become truly free. And it's this inner freedom that becomes magnetic to everything you've always desired. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you recognizes this truth. You're tired of chasing, begging, forcing results. You want to discover the magnetic power that exists when you truly focus on yourself. The decision is yours. Continue running after crumbs out there or discover the banquet of abundance that exists in here. Hill made his choice in that cold hotel in Chicago in 1925. And that choice transformed not only his life, but the lives of millions of people who discovered the secret. When you focus on yourself, the world changes around you. It's not philosophy. It's not self-help. It's a universal law as reliable as gravity, and now you know how to activate it. Your transformation journey begins the moment you stop chasing your life out there and start cultivating your life in here. The world is waiting to conspire in your favor. You just need to change the frequency. If this content awakened something powerful in you, if you're ready to experience what happens when you reverse the focus and truly concentrate on yourself, demonstrate it now. Comment "I am complete" to energetically activate this new reality. And share this discovery with people who are also tired of chasing crumbs when they deserve the complete banquet. Because when you focus on yourself, you don't just transform your own life, you become an inspiration for others to also discover this power. Remember Hill's words, "The world is a mirror that reflects back to you exactly what you show it." When you show completeness, the world responds with abundance. When you show value, the world responds with opportunities. When you show self-love, the world responds with love in all forms. Your new life is waiting. It was always within you.